Bing! And we're live. And it's AtlanticScrum, and it's Sam, Chris, and Mikhail. And yes, I was putting that Michael will join us, and possibly also Norbert will join us as well momentarily. Let's go. Screen share. Hey, Michael. So I think Mikhail was first in. Mikhail, how are things with you?
Sorry.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay. Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
Fine.
Yes. Anything to report? Anything going on of interest?
I was wondering if I can pick something in Pivotal Tracker. You say it like this.
Pivotal Tracker, yes.
Regarding website one and trying to code it.
Yes, I'm certain that you can. And of the people here, possibly Chris is the best qualified to say what would be a good thing to work on. But yes, so I guess what if I can infer from your statement there, what that means is that you've got some time. You've been looking at the different projects and you'd like to program on website one.
Yes.
What I'll mention is also Norbert, who's just joined us as well. I think he's also interested in programming on website one. I think, unfortunately for that, Thomas, who's the website one project manager, is away on holiday this week. But Chris knows what's going on in website one at least a bit, so there could be some discussion there. Are you free, Mikhail, right now to chat more?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, and I guess you don't mind what you work on website one, just as you're just more interested in that particular project.
I installed the environment. It's the reason why I'm.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got it working. Yeah, that's a good reason to get started. Yes.
It's the only reason why I'm trying to work on it. So
yeah.
You have to do something. And
sure. That's great. Well, definitely stick around. Maybe let me go to Chris next. Chris, how are things with you?
Pretty good. I just submitted a pull request for an older user story it enables website one to send out tweets.
Awesome. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's implemented as a concern, and but the way we're using it specifically for this user story is to send out a tweet announcing when an event is live.
Right. And does it interesting. Right. And so as soon as the event goes live, it automatically tweets it.
Yeah, it exploits like an after save.
Okay. Right. The event is saved.
Yeah.
Right. But so oh, that's interesting. I'm just thinking that there because like if it is if it's a repeating event, then at the point at which it gets saved is different from the time that you want to tweet it. But I guess it schedules the tweet to take place later in time. Does it?
Well, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole we want to go, but
maybe, well, anyway, I guess maybe let's not in the context of a Scrum where we've actually got some people, wanting to get together. Yeah, we won't go into the detail. I guess I was immediately thinking because we've had this thing recently with now when you create pairing, well, the Google API has changed for Google Hangouts, and all bets are off. But yes, I think that the tweeting thing could be very, very powerful for us. I
think the way that we've implemented it, we're insulated from any changes to the Google API, and B, any sort of like event refactoring that might occur.
Good show. Yes, and I'll look forward to seeing it in production. Is anything blocking you at the moment?
No, I'm just sort of working on like a demo app for myself. But yeah, I should probably pick a task from Pivotal Tracker and start working on it.
Yes, I think the thing that I might suggest to you is the thing that Norbert is interested in. I know it's something also that Renee is working. Well, anyway, let's work on. And are you available now, Chris?
Yeah, I could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess what we might do is then, if we quickly touch in with, let's see, because I know Michael wants to discuss something else with me. I'll just say, Norbert, how are you doing, Norbert?
Oh, hi. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, good to have you with us. Now, I guess if we got, here you are, this is you on Agile Ventures. Thanks so much for getting involved. Now, Norbert, this is maybe your first Scrum?
No, no.
Oh, you've been in,
just
yeah. You've been in one or two.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect with the Euro Scrum at Friday on Fridays.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes. Oh, good show. Yes. No, you were, and I think people can see this. You were asking about some things in the website one channel and about pair programming. I mean, the pair programming project that we have in here is very, very, the scheduler is very, very old in terms of that was something we were working on a year ago. It was kind of, it's not representing our best thoughts about, how to do peer-to-peer scheduling. And in fact, that's something, I mean, it's a kind of an ongoing issue for us in that there had been quite a lot of work done, particularly, I think, I forget his surname now, but John Engelbert had been doing a lot of work. I don't know if Chris knows more about it than I do, certainly Thomas does, to try to create a new event system that would kind of support, people creating pair programming things, and we would see like a history of I mean, I think there is still, we've got like a sort of prototype for it in the website, which I think is still there. Maybe it's, but here, that kind of, this is supposed to be showing, I think, is this the history of, like, the idea is that I think ultimately we're going to have something like this where you could see all of the past ones, maybe, or are these set in the future? It's going backwards in time, 5, 4. No, I mean, this is more showing the history, but it would, ultimately the idea was you'd be able to see these are the live sessions going on now, and these are all the ones coming up in the future, and just between all the different people working on it in different so on and whatever, it hasn't managed to come together. We were hoping that we would have a big kind of peer scheduling thing all working that the MOOC would be able to use, but we just didn't get there. But we'd love to have people get involved in trying to help us realize that vision. Does that make any sense?
I think one of the issues around, sorry, Norbert,
sure.
Around all these various attempts to get this sort of feature working is, I think it really has to start with design, be driven from that rather than working backwards from data modeling or whatever.
Yes.
I think there has to be a series of concepts done, and then we discuss them and really focus on getting them right before we start building them.
Yes, I think I would agree with that. If we just so Norbert, including what Chris was saying, did what I was saying make sense to you in the context of your question?
Sorry, I saw the other chat because I'm working just. If we can talk about this, I would love to help you to change this, and maybe I think if we can do something like what I wrote to forecast when I would like to make pair programming, maybe it could help the other users to planning where they would like to work somebody else or with this somebody.
Yes. Well, I think that's that would be lovely to have you join us. I think everybody's. It's great to have lots of people ideas in. When I hear the word forecast, I worry that means that we're trying to do something predictive. But I think you're not using it in that sense. You're just basically allowing people to trying to work out when is a good time to pair program, when are other people available, and so on. And I think that's something that we all want to achieve. And I think John Engelbert, when he was involved, had a very good vision of how the G+ pairing thing was not really working. But as I think Chris is alluding to, I think the problem was that in trying to solve that problem, somehow people got sucked into kind of like, well, let's work out what all the data models are. And I agree with Chris that really the key thing is the user experience flow. And ironically, though, Chris, I know that John did do a whole series of kind of user experience. I mean, I spent some time working with him, on that, and I thought we were making progress. But I think the problem, in some ways, the problem was not that there was necessarily so much of a lack of those user experience flow and models and so on, is that they kind of got put aside, and then just the solution that was being built was too complex.
Right.
It was just, instead of implement, I mean, I was sort of putting pressure on, like, let's make it simpler, let's make it simpler. You want to implement the first thing, agree on the user experience flow, absolutely. Make sure that it's only doing, one of the 20 different things that it could be doing, and then stick to making a bare bones prototype of just that one thing, validate that that's even actually helpful or useful, and then iterate, rather than trying to build all 20 things in the first time around. And anyway, but that's the big agile thing that we're all trying to learn through this process. So what I would suggest is, I would suggest maybe Mikael and Norbert and Chris, if you want to have a scrum, have a pairing, or even just sort of a chat session immediately after this session, that would be the way to go. And you guys can maybe talk about some of these different things. It seems like Norbert's interested particularly in that. Mikael's looking for something to work on. Mikael and Norbert could be pairing. Chris, you might provide them some direction, or anyway, maybe I'll leave it up to you three to organize what you'd like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. I guess we'll just, before we finish up the Scrum, there's Michael and myself. Michael, I guess, is there anything you want to add to the report, or shall I just summarize for the others what's going on with us?
You can just summarize.
Yeah, so Michael is, and I'm the local support project manager. Michael's the chief developer, really the person who's putting in recently the most hours on local support, although obviously doing great work with Marianne and John and others who are contributing. The big thing we've got going on in local support is that Michael, along with his colleagues, has moved us from Ruby 1.9.3 Rails 3.2 to Ruby 2 Rails 4, which all works fine in our local machines in Heroku, but Ninefold, who are the people who are hosting us, it's blowing up there, and we're getting errors that we don't necessarily quite understand. I was just going to show you, Michael, this is the very latest stuff from the Ninefold support guy that might be helpful. Anyway, we can discuss it after the Scrum. So that's the main blocking thing for us on local support. For me, it's all Makers Academy, crazy for me. And but other big things this week are weekly meeting on Wednesday. I'm going to try and give a big overview of the local support project. I'm just in two minds about whether we should be moving the time of that to be a bit later. I noticed the Osra Scrum has moved an hour later, but the America Scrum hasn't. I could be setting up kind of events to try and increase the numbers of people coming into that session, but maybe I could just ask Chris and Mikael and Norbert, do you think you guys might be free on Wednesday for the Agile Ventures weekly meeting?
What time is that?
We've got it down as, at the moment, at 6:15 UTC. I will just quickly go to I'll post the link for it. And that works reasonably well for me, but we could move it an hour later if that would be better for others. Here's the current link to that. Put that in that chat there.
It wouldn't work for me because it kind of falls in the middle of my workday.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think on Wednesday I have some other program.
Yeah, no problem at all, and it'll be recorded if you want to catch it another time.
Yeah.
I was just going to get a quick thing of if moving it an hour later would make a difference for people, but it sounds like not so much. Okay, and I think that's probably it. Should we wrap the Scrum up there then? Is there anything else that we need to work out amongst us as a bigger group? I think that sounds like a no. So I'll stop the broadcast. Michael